welcome back to the Energy Academy. I'm so happy to see you here to close out May and kick off June a little early, but I think we kind of need that this month. We're gonna start with about 15 minutes of journaling. That can be whatever you want it to be. That can be in the notes app on your phone. That can be on a post-it note. Just give yourself something to record with, yeah? And then we'll move into about 15 minutes of moves. I'm feeling something a little stretchier, a little spicier today, but as always, this is just wiggle around time to kind of seal in what we're doing, yeah? If you are watching this later, we are listening to the new Billie Eilish album. You can hit play whenever you like, and you'll be right there with us. So, start in a comfy seat. You can be on your couch, you can be on your bed, you can be on the floor like me. Don't take the posture you think you're supposed to take. Just let yourself do what you want for once. We're gonna let the hands hang down. Maybe they sit in the lap, maybe they dangle to the sides, or maybe give yourself just a little bit of loving touch. We're gonna start to soften and deepen the breaths. Let your belly go. Let your collarbones start to melt. Maybe you try breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Thinking about the bottom ribs expanding out to the side like the handles of a bucket as we inhale. Gently squeezing like a fireplace bellows on the exhale. 2 more intentional breaths wherever you are. Don't be afraid to hear your breath. And after your last exhale, you can let your eyes flutter open if they were closed. Grab for your journal with me. Whatever you're using, whatever CVS receipt you're writing on the back of, give yourself a blank, fresh page, a fresh start. You can have one whenever you want it. And I'm gonna write where I am right now. I'm gonna write almost June 2024, right? That's what year it is? Amazing, my friends. Take a moment, think about where you are, not just in space, but that counts too. What's going on in your body? What's going on in your brain? What's going on in your heart? What's it like to be you right now? What does that feel like? All right. I'll give you another second to write, but I'm going to keep going through some questions. Take as much or as little time as you want with any of these. Thinking back on the past month, thinking back on May 2024, the only one we're going to experience, what was your highest high and what was your lowest low? And I'm going to turn Billy down just a little bit. What was your rose and what was your thorn? What was something you'd like to remember and take with you? And what's something you'd like to forget or move past or grow out of? This is a bit of a double header, so I'm going to give you another minute here. All right, my friends, wrapping that up. Let's take a little peek ahead at June. If you're doing this today on the last day of the month, you have a little sneak preview. I don't know why I'm trying to drink my coffee while I'm talking to you. What would you like June to look like? That can be small, that can be big, that can be a vibe, that can be an action. But I want you to think about the best case scenario. This is a kind of journaling that I've started doing because my friend Les recommended it. Les from the Balanced Black Girl podcast. She's amazing. Check her out. Best case scenario. What would it look like if everything went right? What would it look like if you got everything you wanted? What is the best version of events? Maybe even better than you think you're allowed to ask for? Smoother than you realistically expect it to go? Bigger than you planned? What does that look like? What could that be? Let's dream a little. And what does that feel like on the inside? Best case scenario for June. Buddy? All right, my friends, looking at your best case scenario, your wildest dreams for the next month, your unreasonable expectations. What's one small concrete step we can take towards that? What's one thing you can do to make yourself a little bit more like the person who could expect this to happen to them? Just one little bit of movement in our lives. Don't overthink it, yeah? And when you're done with that, let's seal it in with a little love note. That can just be, sometimes this is hard. It can just be an I love you. It helps even if you put your name in there like you're talking to somebody else. It can be a nice little reminder of who you know that you are. It could be a little compliment, or you can just seal it with a kiss, whatever feels good. And when you're ready, you can put that down. We're gonna make our way over to hands and knees. Take your time getting there. We're gonna be in this position for a little bit. So if you'd like to pad up more, if you'd like to take this back to bed with you, go for it. We're gonna stack up shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. You can always bring this up to fists, or again, do not be afraid to roll up your mat, pad up your hands. Ooh, we're gonna start with just a little tiny lift under the belt. Imagine that from top of the head down through the tail, you're a strong tabletop, and we're gonna lift that tabletop up and off towards the ceiling. Hovering like one of those fancy coffee tables that you can like pick it up and bring it towards you on the couch so your posture's better. That's what we're doing with our back. Pick it up. Good, my friends. I'm gonna start to gently slide forward and back. And I'm going to turn that forward and back into a little circle. If you've got hands on the ground, spread out your fingers and grab your mat. If you'd like to add a little tail wiggle side to side, finding more space in your hips, maybe stretching out the glutes after last night. Good. From your very small circle, start to loosen this up. I'm going to tuck my toes for a little more leverage. I'm really bending to the side as I go around. We're going to switch directions in just a moment. We're going to take it back to a very small little circle. Here we go. Pausing in 3, 2, 1, I'm coming back to my tabletop, find that little lift again, and I'm going to start to circle the other direction. Very small. If you're getting feedback from your wrists, this is a really great mobility exercise for them. If you're getting discomfort from your wrists, switch it up. Knuckles is good. Excellent. I'm going to start to make these circles bigger. Wiggling around the other way. Take it all the way around town. Good. Here for 3, 2, 1. Awesome, my friends. I'm going to sit back on my haunches for just a moment, hips to heels, and I'm going to circle out those wrists in front of me. Take it nice and slow. This is a lot less intense than what we were just doing. Don't avoid any of the crunchy bits. Nice slow circle, and we'll switch directions. Here for 3, 2, 1. Good morning. Amazing. Coming back to that tabletop, I'm going to take a big step forward with my right foot. I'm going to walk my hands forward a little bit, but you can keep this more upright. Hands can also come to an elevated surface here if you do not want to be on those wrists. Ooh, I'm going to pick up my right hand. I'm going to reach up to the sky, twisting my shoulders towards that front knee, making my wingspan as wide as possible. Being mindful of where my hips are going. Maybe you gently squeeze the glutes. Maybe you think about squaring off the hips towards the front of your mat. Maybe you soften your shoulders and reach out through your fingertips. Finding length in your spine from the top of your head down through your tail. Maybe stretching out your hand while it's floating in the air. We're here for 3, 2, 1. And bring it down. Step that foot back. Quick child's pose if you want it. Stretching out through the spine. Stepping forward on the left foot. Big deep lunge. Take this nice and wide, and then wider than that. Ooh, pausing here. Check in with this side. Does it feel different? Probably. It's not an emergency, it's just information. I'm picking up my left hand. I'm gonna pull it up to the sky, peeling open, reaching through my fingertips, softening my shoulders, stretching up my spine, playing around with my hand, bringing some life back to it. Good, here for 3, 2, 1. I'm stepping it back to that child's pose. Take a break here. Are you breathing still? While you're folded, maybe you focus on sending that breath into the back pockets, into the back of your bottom rib. Good, my friends. On your next exhale, let it go. Bring it back up to the top. We're going to step forward on the right side again. We're going to twist open. We're going to bring it back to the center. We're going to push back, hips slide back, front leg extends. We slide forward. We twist open. Square it off. Slide it back. Slide forward. Reach across, twist open. Bring it in, square it off. Slide it back, extend that front leg. You do not have to follow my pace. If you would rather slide forward and back a little faster, grease up that hip, you're more than welcome to. If you would like to spend more time in your twist, that's another great option. Excellent, my friends. Forward and open. Back and down, stretching long through the spine. Spending just a few more moments here. We're going to switch to the other side. So if you need a reset, you know where we're going. Otherwise, I'll meet you there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tucking that leg in, switching sides, stepping into it, finding my forward lunge, twisting open, squaring it off, sliding it back, sliding forward, twisting open, squaring off, sliding back. This is a lot of choreography to think about. Do you still have your deep breaths? Especially if this feels tight today. Ooh, especially if you're a little bit like, oh gosh, am I doing this right? Did I get all the steps down? The more you can go back to that breath, the more ease and patience you're going to feel through this whole thing. The softer your hips are going to feel, the calmer your brain is going to feel, the less important this is going to feel. Excellent, my friends. Here for just a few more moments. Take your time, take a break, whatever you got to do. We're going right into a pretty deep hip opener, so if you want to back off before you come back to it, you got a few seconds to break here. Otherwise, I'll meet you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. I'm keeping my left foot forward. I'm going to step forward with my right foot. This can be a tricky transition, so give yourself as many hands on the floor as you need. My feet are about as wide as my mat. Let me tilt myself so you can see this. I'm gonna go elbows to the insides of knees, let my tailbone drop down. Now I'm pretty comfy here, so my feet are on the floor and I'm sitting tall in my spine. Your heels do not need to touch the ground. You can keep hands on the ground, sit up a little taller, slide it side to side, wiggle in and out of the hips. If you're working into this deep squat, you can take it from standing up, hold on to something, take your feet wide, sit down as far as you can. Maybe you'd like to bring a pillow or a block under your tailbone to make it a little comfier to hang out here, whatever feels good. If you're sitting on the couch, maybe you just open up your legs, give yourself a little pressure on the insides of the thighs. I'm continuing to go for a little wiggle side to side. You get a bonus little massage on your tailbone if you're sitting on something. You get a bonus little massage in your feet if you're hovering. Wherever you are, think about shining your heart forward for me. Soften your collarbones. Maybe you add a little sway in your neck as you take it side to side. Good, my friends. We're here for a few more moments. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this folded all the way over, and we're going to take a very slow roll up through the spine, feeling that articulation between every single vertebrae. Okay, you can do that from your seat. You can let yourself slump. You can go hips up. Take that from a full forward fold, whatever feels good. But I want you to think like we're remodeling our spinal column. We are taking this very seriously, one disc at a time, yeah? All right, I'm going hips high, head low. I'm gonna let myself hang here for just a moment wherever you are. Start to soften. Start to send weight into your tailbone, into your back pockets, down into your feet. Release responsibility for the back. You might get another couple inches of depth when you do that. Bend your knees a lot. Let your face go squishy. When you're ready, we're going to dip the tailbone and we're going to start to roll it up. We're going for a very slow count of 10. Stay patient with it. Here we go. Dipping down, rolling for 10. 9, 8, soften even more, 7, 6, are you breathing? 5, 4, stacking up head, neck, and shoulders, last 3, 2, 1. Let it go. All right, you feel a little more loose. We're bringing this back down to a plank. Sorry. But now I want you to think about that beautiful unfurling we did with the spine, and how we can keep it in that long, stacked, and straight position when we do something a little trickier. I'm going fist down to the ground, back into my tabletop position. We're gonna spend about a minute here. You've got some time to play. I'm tucking my toes. I'm going to lift my knees off the ground to hover. If you'd like to just hold it, holding starts now. If you would like to stay and play with me, I'm thinking about my femurs. I'm thinking about knee to hip, shooting straight up towards the sky as I pick my knees up. Knees are only going a couple inches off the ground. I'm continuing to tap up and down, trying to make that as smooth and seamless a transition as possible. I'm thinking about sliding my weight over my shoulders, pressing into the ground, grabbing through my fingers. Imagine pushing my front pockets up towards the ceiling as if I were plugging my femurs back into the hip sockets. Hey, buddy. Norm's like, this looks like something I could do. Excellent. Soften your elbows. Soften your face. Picking up for just a couple seconds at a time, tapping back down. Good, my friends. Playing around, 15 seconds to hold and breathe, coming up in 3, 2, 1. Here we go, pick it up. You can tap down as many times as you like. You can hang out in that tabletop, lifting spine up to ceiling. Good, we're here for 5. Keep breathing. 4, give yourself a compliment. 3, it's not that deep. 2, and 1, let it go. Sitting hips back, hands can come to coffee table, hands can come to the farthest corners of your mat. Sitting hips to heels, letting the head eventually come to rest. If you prefer, you can bring a pillow in here, bring the floor up to you. We're gonna take a minute here and we're gonna think about breathing. Shocker. I want you to imagine you got big ladybug wings on your back. They're inflating with every inhale and they're staying open on the exhale. We find more space in that back body every single time. Good, my friends, almost done. Keep your focus with me for 1 minute more. Big, deep breath into your wings. Exhale, soften, keep that expansion. Again, breathing in, making space. Exhale, soften into the space. Good. Last 2 breaths, biggest breaths all day, setting you up for a good day. And after your last exhale, you can roll to the side, push yourself up, or you can get heavy in the tailbone. Start to walk it up, rolling through the spine. One more time, in your own time. Stacking up to the top. Excellent, my friends. Before we shock our system and return to the real world, just take a second here. Maybe you go hands on body one more time. Thank yourself for what you did today. Thank yourself for making it through another month. Thank your body for showing up for you. Give yourself a little mental forehead kiss or a butt tap, whatever you prefer. And on your next exhale, you can let it go. Come back to the real world. Oh, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for kicking off June with me. I hope you're feeling good. I hope this is a better month than the last one, or it continues to be a great month if you're thriving. I love you so much. June schedule is going live today. We've got some fun new stuff. June and July are going to be kind of a weird transition period for us, but I'm excited about the programming, so we're going to be getting strong anyway. I love you. I'll see you later.